Mike Vrabel has always believed that championships are decided as much by the mind as by the playbook, and as the New England Patriots moved into the final hours of preparation for Super Bowl LX, that philosophy was on full display. On the surface, Friday's practice looked routine, another carefully timed session designed to keep bodies fresh and details sharp. But tucked inside that practice was a moment that revealed how deeply Vrabel thinks about the rhythms of the biggest stage in sports, and how intentional he is about preparing his team for not just the football, but the waiting, the noise, and the emotional pauses that define a Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl games are not normal games. Everyone in the building understands that, but Vrabel wanted his players to feel it before kickoff ever arrived. This isn't a typical 3-hour contest played at a steady pace. It stretches, breathes, stops, and starts in ways that can disrupt even veteran teams. There are extended television breaks. There is a halftime show that feels like a separate event entirely, complete with massive production and global attention. This year, with Bad Bunny set to take over the stage, the pause in the middle of the game will be long enough for adrenaline to cool and focus to drift if players are not prepared for it. That reality is what drove Vrabel's unusual decision during the Patriots' final practice. Roughly an hour into the session, immediately following a special teams period, Vrabel blew his whistle and motioned for his players to leave the field. It was not something he typically does, especially this late in the season. Practice was not over. The work was not complete. Instead, the team was sent inside the locker room for an extended break, mirroring the long interruption they will face during halftime on Sunday. For 14 minutes, players sat, stood, stretched, and waited while music echoed through the stadium speakers, including tracks from the same artist who will command the halftime spotlight on game day. The message was simple but powerful. This is what it will feel like. This is how long it will be. This is how you must handle it. Vrabel's coaching career has been shaped by moments like these. As a former player who experienced the Super Bowl stage firsthand, he understands how easy it is to lose emotional edge when the game stops feeling like a game and starts feeling like a production. Momentum can evaporate in the locker room if players treat halftime like downtime rather than a controlled reset. Vrabel wanted to strip away the novelty before it mattered, turning the spectacle into something familiar and manageable. For the Patriots, this decision fits neatly into the broader identity Vrabel has built since taking over. His teams are known for discipline, situational awareness, and an almost stubborn refusal to be distracted by anything outside the lines. That mindset has carried New England through a season defined by physical football and mental toughness, culminating in a Super Bowl appearance that few predicted at the start of the year. Vrabel has consistently emphasized that preparation is not just about installing plays, but about rehearsing scenarios. 3rd and long, red zone, 2-minute drill, and now extended halftime under the brightest lights imaginable. From a strategic standpoint, the move also speaks to Vrabel's understanding of game flow. Super Bowls often swing on the first drive of the second half. Teams that come out sharp can seize momentum, while those that stumble spend the rest of the night chasing it. By simulating the stop-start nature of halftime, Vrabel is giving his staff and players a shared reference point. When they sit down at halftime on Sunday, nothing about the length of the break or the atmosphere will feel new. The focus can stay on adjustments, communication, and execution rather than restlessness or impatience. There is also a deeper layer to this decision that resonates beyond one game. Vrabel is not just coaching a roster for a single night, he is shaping a culture that values anticipation over reaction. Young players on this team are being taught how champions think. Veterans are being reminded that details still matter, even when everything feels overwhelming. Those lessons carry forward, influencing how players prepare for future playoff runs, future Super Bowls, and even how they mentor teammates down the line. From a game projection standpoint, the Patriots' readiness for the second half could be a defining factor. New England's offense has been at its best when operating with tempo and clarity, while its defense thrives on communication and assignment discipline. A clean transition out of halftime favors both units. If the Patriots can avoid early penalties, missed assignments, or sluggish execution coming out of the locker room, they put themselves in a position to control the emotional arc of the game. That control is often what separates winners from runners-up on this stage. The decision also sends a message to the opposing sideline. It signals that New England is thinking beyond the obvious, preparing for moments other teams may overlook. In Super Bowls, where margins are razor thin, that kind of preparation can feel like an extra possession or an extra timeout banked in advance. There are recruiting implications embedded in moments like these as well. Coaches around the league notice these details. Players notice them too. When free agents weigh destinations, they often talk about structure, leadership, and whether a staff truly understands how to win at the highest level. Vrabel's attention to the Super Bowl's unique demands reinforces his reputation as a coach who leaves nothing to chance. That reputation matters in locker rooms, front offices, and future negotiations. For fans, especially those who have followed Vrabel from his playing days through his rise as a head coach, this decision feels perfectly on brand. It reflects toughness without theatrics, creativity without gimmicks. Patriots supporters see a coach who respects the magnitude of the moment but refuses to be overwhelmed by it. In a game that can feel more like a global event than a football contest, that steadiness is comforting. Ultimately, Friday's practice was not about music or minutes spent off the field. It was about ownership of the moment. Vrabel wanted his players to understand that the Super Bowl will try to pull them in every direction, stretch their attention, and test their patience. By rehearsing that reality now, he's giving them a blueprint for how to respond when it matters most. When the lights dim for halftime and the field transforms into a concert stage, the Patriots will have already lived that experience. When they return to the field after the longest break they will face all season, there will be no shock, no confusion, no wasted energy, just football, exactly as Vrabel intends it.